Welcome back to the Lifespring Age, episode 58, Stars and Azaforth. The stars align for Lafi as she manages to break through and have a conversation with someone she's been missing, whilst Aeon asks Olivia for some assistance. Follow us on the socials. Okay, so when you've stepped into this ring of stones and you've sat there and you've tried to reforce that connection, and it took a few breaths, and as you kind of open your eyes, you perceive Lorelei is coming towards you, and you feel that not now familiar, but that not worrying freeze of time again, that feeling of disconnection from the realm that you're in. You close your eyes again, you take another deep breath, and as you open them, everything is stark white again. You have that feeling of elevation, the feeling that you've been lifted, but it's more controlled than before. It's not like you're being pulled, it's like you're slowly rising up, like a bubble through water. As you head further and further up with each breath, the lightness grows and grows and grows until it reaches an almost painful brightness. And as you take that final breath that comes through, that brightness disappears, and as you open your eyes, you see yourself in this. It first looks like a corridor or maybe a gazebo under the night sky, and as your eyes start to adjust, it's none of those things. What the fabric that you were seeing, or the wall that you were seeing, is this immense coloration of a nebula like this. It looks kind of like a seahorse that's infused with the colours of greens and purples and yellows. That is taken up over the entirety of your peripherals to your right hand side. You turn around to try and orient yourself, and there's this glowing light that's coming towards you. You look down because you feel the ground beneath your feet, but there's nothing below you, and you look down, you don't even see legs. You again see this glowing light that appears, and this glowing light that's approaching you is approaching you further and from further away than you can possibly imagine, but it's coming to you quite fast, but it doesn't feel like it's rushing until it feels like it's almost within arm's reach, and it seems to form into a very, very familiar shape. And even though it doesn't have typical features that you would expect, like eyes, nose and a mouth, it does take on the form of this humanoid shape. And you recognize it to be Rhea, your older sister. Comes towards you. She the glow that is approaching you forms into a face that you recognize. It's your own face staring back at you with small, minute differences. A soft smile, understanding wide eyes, as arms open, and she says, "Lafette, it's been so long. You're back so soon." What do you do?
Obviously I don't know what form, physically, Lafi's in, but that
Would
feeling of say again.
What form would you like to be in?
I'm thinking just a more glowy, ethereal-y version of herself. But I imagine that she's got watery, teary eyes, and a little bit shaky.
So as you imagine, as you feel those emotions well up in your chest, your form responds to that thought and forms into the form of a more humanoid and recognizable. So from that glow emerge arms and legs, and you can feel your face, and you can feel the wetness and the kind of that heat behind your eyes, that kind of sometimes that swelling feeling in your chest of trying to is she trying to bottle up the feelings, or is she letting them out?
I think she's trying to keep it in, and it's a mix of sadness and anger. Not anger. Frustration, and it's that very full and tight feeling in your chest right before you burst into tears.
Yeah. So Rhea stands there seeing this. Her form matches yours. She's trying to find a form that will be most suitable for you, so you can communicate with her and get these things across. So she seems to diminish, the glow seems to diminish, you seem to diminish, and you're stood there on this nothingness, surrounded by this canopy of stars on either side, this nebula to one side, and this deep, beautiful abyss on the left, and this twinkling in her eyes. And as she looks at you, you can see behind her the stars that are showing in her eyes are actually the ones behind her. She's got this confused look in the face, and she she opens her hands from like the waist, so she's reaching out to you, not pulling you forward, but offering her pulling you in, if that makes sense. I don't think that sentence does work, but
Yeah, I
she's
know what you mean.
inviting you to welcome her, bringing you in. Yeah.
I think for a minute she'd kind of stand there and try and like hold in this like very big emotion, and then just sort of crumble and probably like move towards like an embrace. But like muttering under her breath something like, I can't do it, it's too much, it's too big, how do I deal with that?
She brings you in, and she puts her arms around you in this embrace that be warm, bordering on hot. The heat of you can tell is intense, but it doesn't burn you. It very much feels natural, like the kind of heat that you should be giving off.
Yeah.
And she opens her eyes, and she says, "Oh, what's too much? Talk to me. What's the matter?"
We went to speak to Olivia, and she sees things, and she speaks to people speak through her, and Hadar spoke to me, and she'd like gesture to her face, and I think as she did, like the mark that's probably gone now, she'd like show him where it was. I feel like because her essence is like so malleable, if that makes sense, and she can like shift the way she looks. The handprint would like reappear where it was, these like huge hands on her face. Yeah. And I think she'd point to it and be like, and he did this, and my head was, he was in my head, and he said he was coming and that he was gonna take over everyone. And I remembered when I was in the pools and you were all talking to me, this is what you meant, isn't it? You knew that he was coming.
We knew he was there for every action in the universe. And she's basically, she's got you in this like hug. She's kind of just like whispering this to you, like just trying to calm you down. For every action in the universe, there is an opposite reaction. There is a balance. There's always a balance. And this is what we are. We're the balance. We're there to be the balance.
How do I face that? I'm not strong enough to do that.
My dearest, you chose this. You walked into the world with your head held high, your hopes in front of you. We don't know the tests or the trials that faces us as we walk in. Nobody does. Just that it's there to be faced. I know. We know you do everything you can to help people. You're limitless.
I feel like I have my limits.
No. They're self-imposed, my dear. No. No, you can do anything you put your mind to. I believe this. They believe this.
I just don't know. I don't know I'm strong enough. I know that you faced things like this. I spoke with Runo. And she just like shake her head as she says that.
As you say Runo, she kind of like, there's this like, she kind of steps back a little bit, not a lot. She's still got you kind of holding your hands, looking at your face. She's trying to be very reassuring. And as you say Runo, you see this very soft smile appear on her face. And you've seen him? You've spoken to him?
Yeah, he spoke very highly of you.
I miss him. I think of him often. Not every day, but I think of him often. He was. You can trust Runo. I daren't look in on him, but when I knew him, I happily would have trusted him with. Well, I did trust him with my life, and I still would. I think you can trust him. You can trust what he has to say. He was so wise then, and wise now. I hope. It's been a long time.
How do you know who you're supposed to trust?
you can never know who you're meant to trust. I suppose it's one of the trials. I suppose one of the things you can only see what people show you, and sometimes as you have a feeling inside, one of the things you probably remembered or found out is that people flock around us, and they're brought to us like moths to a flame almost. They feel themselves drawn to us, and picking the good ones from the bad can be difficult, but it's not impossible. You can, you're smart cookie, Lafi. You need to give yourself some credit. You've surrounded yourself with friends again.
But I did it last time and it went wrong.
Well, it happens often that when it could have been said it went wrong for us too, for me. I don't know if I left the world in a more unbalanced state that I found it in. There was the war, and me being there helped end it, but since then there's been other troubles too. We can't always know the effect we have. We just need to plough ahead. We need to decide what it is we want to do and then stick to our guns and do it. That's what we do. That's what we're here for. That's what you're here for.
I found out about Arasi recently. About what happened to her. Do you think that was my fault?
1 second. You jumped about a bit. Now, look at me. She takes your hands and she brings them up closer to her chest. Look at me in the eyes and listen. Now listen hard and listen good. You are not responsible. You went to Warndle to prevent the Cold King Oberon from riding his nightmares across the land, and you succeeded there. I don't know how, and I don't know what you did to do that. And then you stayed, and you protected towns, and villages and cities. You shone brightly, and when somebody else decided your light wasn't bright enough, you came home. What they did next, right or wrong, was their choice, not yours.
Do you know what happened to the rest of them? After I left?
Well, let's think where we are. What became of them? Now, I have my own old friends sometimes to look in on, but from what I remember, Cleotha ascended to the Silvered Hive as they dreamt. They 3-3 in the Throne Valiant took the bones of the World Snake and they formed them into a cage for the Hollow Man. Varel and the Sky Sword, they took the Freed Prince and ruled the city for centuries. But you probably mean Arasi, but Sel fought against the Dark Lord Amdis, blocked his assault. Aldo and Deodora fell to the Liches, I'm afraid to say. But it's been so long that very few of them would have been around now. Anyway, I'm sorry.
I assumed as much. It was just, I don't know how far Arasi went with it. I know she mentioned Baranach in the book, and I wasn't sure if there was anybody else. But that's past. What about now? What about the people I'm with now? Do you trust them?
I don't know them. I trust you, and I trust your judgment. They're your friends. I need to. Maybe I know things have been forgotten, but we're not in control. We don't rule over them. We watch you, and we see your trail across the world, but we don't see your interactions unless we look very closely. And there are other things that take our notice. Rosalind has gone to another world to help there, and so I can only say if you trust them, I would trust them too. I trust your judgment, Lafi.
I trust most of them. I brought blew back, and I don't know if it was the right thing to do.
She squeezes your hand, and she goes, I know it would have been against the law, against the rules of the place you were in, but does that make it wrong? There are consequences for every action. As I said, there's a balance in the universe, and it's just whether or not you think it was worth it. And if you do, then I would say it was right.
It's at the moment I'm closest with Rusty and with Lorelei.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like Lorelei?
I don't know her, but if she means so much to you, then I'm sure I would like her. I remember a long time ago when you first brought your old friends to us, when you decided you wanted to stay there. I liked them too. I met Arasi only the one time. And going back to what you said about that not being able to see how people, what people, whether they're truthful or how they truly feel about us. Firstly, you need to understand we can never know how much others love us, but with Lorelei, of course, I have no doubt. Of course, she loves you. It's impossible not to. We are warmth and beauty and light, and there are more worlds out there beyond count, and that she loves you is, I would say, to be expected.
I think the one thing that I am sure of, I knew Arasi never loved me in the same way.
Well, as I say, I only met her once, and it was clear she knew she could give her life to you, but that you would continue on long after her name was forgotten. And at the time, years before you left, I think, like many others, she didn't want you mourning her for an eternity, so she held herself back, and maybe that twisted inside of her the longer she was around you.
Obviously it would have been sad, but I'd rather have the time than never have had it, which is why I was content just being there. It was enough to just be around her, but I know the one thing I know, and it's the one thing I am sure of, because everything else is just a mess. I know that Lorelei loves me, and I know that Rusty loves me, and those two I can be sure of. It's the others I'm still like. I know Kudo is he has Miranda with him, and he's watching over me, but obviously that's like a job.
Well, you're never alone. Miranda's iron stands beside you all the time. Trust your instincts with them. You need to shine your light brighter than hateful Adar. But I know Miranda. I know what she would say were she here. I know that you felt she's been cold. She would say, well, her and Aeon would say it best. Or perhaps frankest, which isn't always the best thing. They both have their walls up all of the times. When she would hear you talk of these creatures, these beings you have given your love to, she would say, they're your favourite mayflies, and you can't dedicate an eternity to mourning them once they're gone. They can be a soulful note in the symphony that is your life, a change in the melody, but their songs will continue without them. And I know that doesn't help. You're much braver than I am. Your love is purer. You are able to admit it and open it, something I could never do with Runo. Your love is your armour and your weapon and your shield. Now, wear it proudly, Lafi. Surround yourselves with those that you love. And know that when it's time to return to us, know that you're better for being loved and having loved them. And as I look down, and I don't know them all, only 2 of the companions have the natural capacity to live for anything more than a fraction of our lives, if they reach their potential.
Who?
She kind of looks a little bit, not coy,
like, I'm not telling.
no, not like that. Like, she kind of a little bit coy, a little bit sad. She goes, would it really help if I were to tell you? Do you really wish to know?
Well,
because I don't want to be the one to break your heart again.
I think she'd, like, immediately know what that means and sort of, like, stop
I
asking
said
questions.
I said natural capacity. I didn't mean to say that that none of them can last. But as it stands, I can only see 2 that would have the ability to continue on for what they would call forever. She squeezes your hand again to reassure you.
Well, I won't go into it, but I did get this, and she'd, like, take the ring out that she bought with the blue crystals in it, and I don't know if it's silly to want this, even if it is just for a fraction of time, but I do want it.
I know, and I'm happy you've found someone I truly am. I've loved before, and as I said, I've never had the courage to say it. And there are those that I've met that will forever be in my heart. Runo's the one that shines brightest.
Is there anything you want me to tell him? I don't think he has a lot of time.
I would trust to you to decide whether or not it would help. I hope his life was happy. I miss him all of the time. I couldn't bring myself to watch his story unfold. If you think it will bring him joy, let him know that I think of him, and I will see him when he crosses the dark sea, and we can be together again in a way after that. But I don't know if that will help. If you think it will bring him joy, then yes. If not, I will see him again. Mm-hmm. We're all together again.
Okay. There was another thing just while I'm here.
Of course.
When I arrived, obviously I didn't remember much, but there was somebody with me or something with me. He calls himself Chiken.
Chiken?
Yes, it's like a white butterfly, but he speaks to me. I wasn't sure if it was something that
Chiken.
You had sent, or
no? The name sounds familiar, like a word or a phrase. It's almost like it's not quite right. I don't recognise the name. I haven't seen them. But I can only see the ones that are closest to you. I can't see this Chiken. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
Another thing about Bruno, the orb that you put in place, he wants to dispel it. I just wanted to know if that was a good idea.
He worked so hard to create it. He gave up everything he had to give. He thought it was worth. Well, he thought it was vital, and it worth enough that we would be separated. And so, if he thinks it's wise to do it, he must think it's wise to do it. I remember it was his life. It was his obsession. And so if he thinks it's right to dispel it, I would have to defer to him.
Okay. How do I talk to you if I need to? Do I have to come back to the stones, or...?
These stones are not ours. That we've used them this time. But there are more pools out there, and if you wanted to, if you wanted to see everyone, and they would love to see you, and we could meet everyone of yours, there is a place that you could visit that takes you to a realm that it would not hurt them, but they could see us how we're meant to be, if you'd like.
Her face would light up at that, and she'd be like, where is it? Yes, that would be, yeah.
She looks, it's just like, sometimes when you ask these questions, there's these moments of like confusion, like a raised eyebrow almost.
Mm-hmm.
She says, if you can't remember, if you get close, it will certainly call out to you like the pools did.
Why can't I remember things? Is that normal? Did you forget things?
Aeon, again, says that we're almost like the goldfish. So we swim round and we swim round, and every time we come back round to it, the little castle is a pleasant surprise every time. But I don't think that's true. You should remember more than you do, and it's not blank slate. When we go, we know what we need to know, but not even knowing who you were, I think something went wrong, something intercepted, or something affected your arrival.
Do you think it was related to Hadar?
I don't think so. I couldn't say. We can investigate, but it's she kind of like gestures. It's so small to us when it's that the world is a grain of sand on the beach to us. It's hard to focus in on the small things. It's just you shine bright there. Your light hasn't dimmed. It's not affected you. It's just your memory. You're still you. You're still the same person you always were.
And I remember things. They come back in big chunks. It was like when I was told that I was one of the little sisters, it sort of came back, and now I can't remember not remembering.
That's normal, yes.
But it was strange to forget absolutely everything.
We will look into it. Perhaps there was someone who was trying to make you forget. I can't imagine why someone would do that. You're only there to help. You're not there to control or take over. So I'm not sure, but we can look into it, and perhaps that's something you can. Your time there will be full of discovery. Maybe that's one more thing you can discover.
Yeah. Before I go back, because I'd like to go back, is there anything else I should know that I've forgotten? She
pulls you in for a big hug and gives you a big soft forehead kiss. Just know that I love you. You carry my heart with you, and I see how much these ones mean to you. There's power left in that place, in this place from last you were there. Trinkets and relics we've left. Pools and dragons to guard them. I feel I know what you're asking. You want my blessing or approval. I don't think it should matter to you whether I give it or not, but if it helps, I will, and I do. I know this Lorelei means so much to you. I will reach down and I will lend Lorelei some of my powers. I look forward to meeting her. She must be quite something. Don't mind Miranda. She's never had anyone there she thought is good enough for her or for us. As I say, she sees them as mayflies, as ticks of a clock that pass and never to return, but she still sees their importance. I'll lend Lorelei some of my light, and I will trust in your judgment. And if you ever need us, just find a place like this and reach out, and we'll be there. And you don't have to come home until you're ready.
I think she, like, the tears that she'd been holding in the whole time would come, like, pouring out of her. And she'd just start, like, whispering, like, thank you.
As the tears start to fall, when I cry and my eyes close, you feel the hands drop, and by the time you're able to open them again, you've drifted apart again over this gulf. And she's looking at you. She's got this smile on her face, and she watches as you kind of feel yourself descending through that back into the brightness and then back down as you return to the world as it was. And the thing that stands out most to you as you're here is how desaturated the world looks to where you just were.
Yeah.
So you turn around and you open your eyes and you see the people, and the people are vibrant and alive and moving. And as your eyes glance over to the trees and the grass, you realize that the trees, the grass, the plants, the animals, the world itself is vibrant and full of energy and living and worth saving. And that there is this pale light that's been cast over the world that's trying to force you to see it in diminished shades. But you can see through it as you look around, and you can see there's one person that's kind of frozen as they're heading towards you, that has got this light within them that you can see. And we'll leave it there for just you and me. I'm going to bring Asha in here now.
Okay.
And you jump into the other one. Tell them we'll be starting in like 2 minutes. I'll bring Lafi. I'll just ping him now. Asha, get your skinny ass into the channel. So as you're running towards Lafi, you saw this. Almost like, you know, when someone like a car drives past at night and you got the fucking main beams on because they're a butthole.
Yeah,
like,
it blinds me.
Blinds you for a split second, and in this, when you kind of that goes, you see yourself in this what looks to be like a large open corridor. As you look round, you realise it isn't a large open corridor; it's an endless gulf. You can't see floor, you can't see
a
ceiling,
gulf, as in like a
space.
Okay, yeah.
Gulfo space.
Okay, cool.
Gulfo space. And there's this bright light in front of you. As you stare at it for a moment, you think, "Oh my god, it's Lafi. She looks amazing. She looks brighter than I've ever seen it." But then as the features kind of come in, it isn't quite Lafi, and this isn't like the conversation you'd had with the Elder Noxious, where it was someone trying to be Lafi but got it wrong because the features were cruel. These are similar features, just off by micro degrees, but there's a similar kind of warmth and understanding there that they portray, that there's a curiosity in their eyes. And this voice sounds very, very similar to Lafi's, but slightly older, slightly more careworn. Says, "You are Lorelei. You've caught my eye. I need to ask you a few questions, if that's okay."
There'd be like a look around. Well, yeah.
Okay. Don't worry, you're perfectly safe here. This is just a realm where we can talk. one-on-one without you being harmed, and my natural form would hurt. I need to ask, will you be strong for Lafi?
Yes, always.
Will you make sure she succeeds in her mission?
Yes, of course.
Do you trust her judgment?
It's like a slight hesitation thinking about the time she fell through the floor. Yes. Yeah, yes, I do.
And you will work with her to make sure she can be all she can be.
Yes.
Good. That every answer you've given is what they wanted to hear. So they look happier and happier the more they did. Don't worry.
Can I make an assumption? But I assume it's one of the sisters. Can I assume?
You can assume that. Yeah.
Can I try and assume which one?
You can roll a history check.
Damn.
You don't get advantage.
She's not faith. I assume she's not faith fiends undead. Oh wow, 19.
Okay. You would be able to place this one from the clothing. You've actually seen this particular one before, shown to you in a vision by Runo. This is Rhea.
She was the one that was also in all my dream.
She was, yeah. You recognise her from your dreams as well. It's slightly different now. She's changed somewhat. Like the features are brighter. Like she's been diminished while she's been in your dreams. The vision was kind of diminished. Now she's much brighter. But she smiles wide and she goes, "This is excellent. I won't say I hold you to these things. Lafette trusts you, and so do I." And she reaches forward and puts her thumb on your forehead.
Simba.
Yeah, Simba, and then there's a flash, and you find yourself back on the floor, and you have your new subclass. We'll resume then, because we haven't got super long, and I'll need to urinate in a minute and move downstairs because I'm in my office at the minute, which is why I may sound slightly different. But you, as a group, last week went to see Olivia. It didn't go great, let's be honest. It could have gone better. But it went how it went, and that way is how it went, and it will always have gone that way. And then afterwards, Lafi was like, guys, I need some privacy. And Lorelei was like, okay, cool, let's give her some privacy. I'll be right with you. For some privacy together. And then we kind of...
I'm coming with you!
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so we left you in Olivia's house, and Lorelei had ran off.
I didn't say run. She
you
walked quickly.
Followed. Yeah.
Yeah.
You speed walked in one of those awesome lycra outfits and cool helmets.
Yeah.
You left there in there.
You for some reason.
With the little
You
hand
left
weight.
Riptide there.
Yeah.
Kudo. So what I will say is Kudo, because he's not here this week, has decided he's had enough of this mental old wizard, and is going to go toddle off and do some cool pranks or like play in a playground or something. He's just going to have some fun for a bit. This day's been a bit emotionally heavy for him, so he's just going to go off and do some cool shit by himself.
For half of it.
Yeah, he's been asleep for half of it. And Riptide. I will ask before we go to Lorelei. I will ask what Lou and Aeon, and by extension Riptide, are doing, whilst Olivia has kind of like shown you the board, kind of explained roughly what she thinks is going on. Are you staying there for your brain blasted Lafi? You Blaja blasted laugh. What wasn't her that did it?
No, I know.
Yeah.
No, that was the body, not Olivia.
Yeah. So are you going to hang around? Do you want to speak to her anymore, or can I close her character sheet?
I was going to ask one more question. One question at Olivia and one to Aeon, actually.
Okay. What's your max hit points, by the way, Lou?
It's not obvious.
More than enough. 67.
Our word kill. No, I'm joking.
No.
Honestly, it caused a lot of problems.
Yeah.
I'm not there. I can't help. Sorry.
Yeah.
When you get back, it's been 1 minute and 6 seconds. Fuck.
Yeah. And you don't have any diamonds anymore. So
Actually,
what is
I
it?
got
Don't
one
have
left.
any diamonds.
Got one left.
I
Okay.
bought 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, also one thing I did because my cleric was a cleric who used to work in a blacksmithy at the metallurgist or whatever it is, tool proficiency, or Jules proficiency rather. What I said when we came into a load of money is he implants a revivified diamond in everyone's armor, so it's all he's got to do is take it. Yeah, and the DM loved it. It was great.
He's just gonna go shonk.
Yeah, thong, yeah. But I made a big deal out of it.
That's cool. Yeah.
That shit. Yeah. So
Aeon and Lafi combo. You got this.
So what is it you're asking Olivia?
Is there a way to remove Leia's, not curse, but her, like the
gears?
The gears without going to William?
She sits down. She says, "Well, I can't remember what her voice was. I think it's just old lady, generic."
It was generic old lady.
Generic old lady. Well, my dear,
slightly younger.
Okay. Well, my dear, I'm not sure. I wasn't there when the spell was cast. I would need to know a few things. Whether or not she chose willingly to enter into the Gaius, because that means it isn't a curse. There would only be one or two ways to remove it then. The exact wording of it, from what I understand, when she mentioned it, the Gaius was to bring the book back to William. If she entered into it willingly, the only thing I can think of that would be able to remove it would be a greater restoration or a wish spell. Remove curse, I'm afraid, simply will not do it.
Okay, thank you.
But I can perhaps I don't know. It's a complicated one, Aegeus, because it's all about the intention of the person under it as well. If they are actively working to subterfuge the Gaius, that can work against them as well. So if they're looking for loopholes, they know that they're trying to gamify it, if you will. That will hurt them as well. That will show that they're not true to their promise.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I can't say I'm sorry that it will hurt Leia. But
Fuck that bitch.
I know. Before we leave, Aeon,
Hello?
are you not tempted to ask Olivia about your brother?
You know what? That never actually occurred to me to ask a human divination wizard about him. But now that you've brought it up, that's actually a really good point. I was so focused on finding my own, following my own sort of like clues and tracks to track him down, but if she can help, that's actually a really good idea.
I'm still in the room.
I was wondering, this diary of Kilpatrick, you worked with him, and you knew, he like started his own weird religion and cult and stuff like that, and he was like he's the last clue I had to finding my it was like the only real lead I had to finding my brother. They used to be in the same cult before he went off to form his own cult with blackjack and hookers. But so I was just wondering, do you know anything, or could you use your powers to see anything?
She gestures to her greyed out eyes. I assume that was just a poor choice of words, but
It
I
really
could,
was.
yes, no, it's okay. Don't worry. This was a choice. I haven't really needed them apart from I couldn't see your friend. Well, I don't know anything about you, I'm afraid. I'm not sure if we've been introduced. Olivia, good, Olivia Hall.
Aeon Strive.
Mhm.
I'm a
Tell me
bounty.
a bounty hunter. She takes out a like a glass crystal ball, and she puts it on the table in front of her, and she goes, "Now, usually, how this would work, I would look deep into the crystal ball to see if any images came through, but unfortunately, at the moment, my gestures to her face again. So I will have to use this as a focus. Can you describe your brother to me? I may be able to place him in the world. Or first, could you give me his name, but at least as a starting point?
His name is Azaforth.
Azaforth, okay.
Yeah.
Azaforth and Aeon. Azaforth Strife.
Yeah.
And where was the last time you saw him? Last
would
place and time.
It would have been on in my hometown, which is called I forgot the name of it.
Drag you to the world map.
Yes, please.
It was near the falls, wasn't it? It was near the
Like the
yes, yeah.
type of area. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it was around there, around the Clouded Spire type of area, the falls. He's a shifter, a little bit older than me. He has longer hair and a bit more animalistic features than I do, and he I think he made a pact with something, and he killed my parents. I've been hunting for him.
As you describe this, his face, you see the smoke within the crystal ball like whirling round and then start to form into a humanoid figure that rapidly becomes the last time you saw your brother, like the morning kind of before like it all went tits up kind of thing. And she just, now I understand this may be painful, Aeon, could you take us through what he did?
In the morning, I normally go to my mother's workshop. She was teaching me ways of jewel crafting to make spells. That morning when I went there, she wasn't in her workshop, so I had a look around and I found her and my father in his lab talking about something I couldn't quite make it out. My father's research was he was trying to find a way to make a weapon of some description. I don't know. And as I got closer, I saw my brother walk up, and he looked at them and they just let their guard down. It was their son. He wouldn't hurt them. And then he stabbed my father and then attacked my mother and slit her throat.
As you're talking, the sphere is showing almost word for word what you're saying, and she holds her hand over it to kind of block the images from being seen by all, but you can see like movement beneath her fingers. And she's like, thank you, Aeon, I know that must have been difficult. Let us peel back the clouds and let's see where things are at the moment. and so she basically starts gently rotating the crystal ball on its holder, and it's like she's fast forward, like she's like spinning an old vinyl, like she's speeding it up. Yeah, pretty much. And you see it's focused on him as he's fleeing from your home, like it's behind you. Like you see your home behind. He's coated in blood with this mad look in his eyes. He's not smiling as he's running away. He's not upset. He looked relatively emotionless as he's running away. There's this figure, this cloaked, very very shaded figure that he seems to be talking to, and the imagery slows down, but there's no sound that comes out. And as she tries twisting the ball or holding it in different ways to see this person's face, it's like it's been annihilated from view. Whatever way she stares through, she can't see this person's face she's talking to, and she twists the orb again, and it zooms forward, and you see him traveling like through from like hovel to hovel. Again, like he's always got this knife with him, this particular like very unusually shaped like crystal knife with him, and there's times where he looks like he's about to kill other people and he holds back like he's being told not to, until he gets to this large collection of gnomes. It's like gnome town, and he's trying to like barter or like deal or make some kind of arrangement with them either for like passageway or respite. He's either trying to pass through or trying to stay there. Either way, he wants to get into this village for whatever reason, and they're barring it until this ancient gnome comes out. Got like a fake prosthetic leg, a fake prosthetic arm, and is walking with a real. The face is haggard, the blind in one eye. And they seem to be having this conversation. And it gets quite heated until your brother hands over this knife. This gnome takes it from him, examines it, puts it in his pocket, and allows him to step through into this land of the gnomes. And the minute he steps forward, the smoke dissipates, and Olivia looks really confused. She goes, "That's unusual. There's a very powerful anti-scrying spell on the land that's not uncommon or unheard of. It doesn't surprise me, really, thinking about it. That's Malloy, you just saw there, the artificer, who taught me everything I know. Very powerful, very, very, very competent, understood magic like no one I've ever met before. It's not surprising he's able to best my magic. But your brother entered his land, and at that point, I lost him. But that, I will say, was a long time ago. Maybe a few months after you first lost him. So I would direct your inquiries to the north now."
Okay. Thank you.
Not a problem. Thank you for coming to check on me. And I will say it again. Every time I speak as Olivia, for some reason, I close my eyes.
Lucky you don't have any notes to read.
Yeah.
We don't need eyes where we're going.
Who writes notes?
Me never.
Malloy. Was it Olivia who said that Malloy had gone silent? I know
that was
people
Swan.
Said it was Swan.
And then by proxy, me, probably.
Yeah, probably.
No, I think you were there. I think Aeon was there.
Yeah.
There were a variety of missions that you guys could have had with like monetary, because now Lorelei is no longer a member of the hunt. She's like a freewheeling mercenary for hire. Ciao. And there were a couple of optional quests you could have had. You still can have if you want, though may not necessarily fit in with what your plans are. And finding out why this mental old coot who basically rules this, let's call it a mini, like it's basically like a city-state way up in the north that he rules with like an iron fist, has gone completely silent, was quite high on Swan's list of concerns, because this guy is like the weapons manufacturer. He apart from Weirbiddle Skiddle, this fella like is the only one who knows how to make constructs. And he like pumps out weapons all the time. Was absolutely key in the war for keeping people armed and creating constructs and stuff. So yeah.
Did you learn anything new? I couldn't really see.
a while ago, probably a couple months after what he did, he met up with Malloy, the artificer, the inventor.
Riptide's going to chip in and be like, guys, maybe we should have this conversation as a group.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's follow and
Try
Lorelei.
and
'Cause I'm
catch up
sure those fuckers have got something to say as well.
Yeah.
and
They're
she's
probably
gonna-
hugging and crying somewhere.
I mean, what's wrong
Right.
with it? It sounds like a healthy expression of their affection and how they feel about each other.
It's Pride
That's my
Month.
cupcakes
Winks.
on the way. I'm sure they'll need them.
Be gay,
Thank
do
you.
crime.
B-Day, B-Day, do crime.
Be day, do crime.
B-Day,
Be gay, hug and
Yep.
cry.
Yeah.
B-Day, hug crime.
I mean, you know, if I'd have had somebody when I was younger, like I could have talked to, like, you know, I think I might have turned out a little bit different. But let's see. Let's catch up and maybe we can.
Let's see what the others are up to.
And then we can yell at him and be like, guy, or whatever.
Get a room.
Yeah, get a room, you two, even though they have a room, and you know, are
Well,
committed
let's
to each
get.
other, which is it's kind of beautiful, but you know, let's find out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for your time, Olivia.
Oh, thank you for the biscuits. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh, that was weird. That didn't make sense in my head. That didn't make sense in my head for some
Yeah,
reason.
thank you, Olivia, for the biscuits. Next
Thank
time,
you.
maybe don't try to burn people's faces off. I don't know, but you know, it's
Yeah.
your house. Do what you want. So, all right,
It
love
was-
you.
it was
Bye.
It's like a cold burn.
So you
Go
three,
ahead.
Bye.
the
Send
rest
a
of the
message
party.
if anything happens.
To you, I thought you were going somewhere.
I am.
Oh,
We're
okay.
going up north.
Okay. So you just want to be kept in the loop?
You know, just want to make sure you're okay.
Okay. Okay. Well, I will try to keep myself out of trouble now that
Get
Leia's.
out of my fucking
Yes,
house.
I really want to shower. I've you know. the
Yep,
thing
we're
that
gone,
is
we're
to-
gone,
yes,
we're gone.
Bye.
Aeon,
Just
stand up,
slams the door behind you.
stand up.
Piss
We're
off.
going.
There's
We're
actually a
going.
question. I don't know how old would you say Olivia is? 'Cause I've just
She's not that old. She's about 40,
Yeah.
maybe 45, 50.
I was gonna say because
Oh, I
I
thought she was losing.
so I
It's
remember-
like
I remember
55, somewhere in there.
initially I had no idea. I did think she was younger at the start.
No,
when-
she's not super old. She's human.
She's human,
It looks
yeah.
like she's aged very, very quickly. She's been through a very traumatic
Yeah.
experience. So
I
40,
was
like
thinking,
45
like-
tops.
I was thinking like adorable grandma level.
No,
type
no.
woman.
She's so for
Trays of
context,
biscuits and stuff.
the Coriolis and the work with Malloy and Kilpatrick would have been like. I think it's in the diary. It's like 10, 15 years ago. I think I actually have a date with it somewhere.
It says the diary starts 18 years ago.
Yeah. So
it must have
she
been within
would
that
have been
time. Yeah.
Yeah, she would have been relatively young. She would have been like 20 odd then.
Like the most
so
like
yeah,
the
but
younger
she's probably-
apprentice of all. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she's
been like
human
the
prodigy.
youngest of all of them. members,
She would have been
because-
about the same age as Kilpatrick. Like,
Okay, 'cause I wasn't sure how
Kilpatrick,
Kilpatrick was.
maybe 5 years in it. You know,
Okay.
he was.
Yeah.
Was he like 50
So
or
I
60?
actually had
maybe
no
60.
idea how old Kilpatrick was.
There was a
Yeah.
picture of him. He had like a white beard. I don't
Yeah,
have a picture of
but I-
Olivia because I didn't anticipate her coming back more than twice. So,
she
but here we are.
doesn't exist
Gone now.
anymore.
Yeah, she falls down the stairs and breaks her neck. No, she
Wow.
doesn't. She's fine. She brings the toaster to the bath, and we never hear from her
Oh,
again.
She makes an arcane toaster
Yeah, she
specifically.
makes an arcane toaster. Yeah, she tries to reach out for her like glass of rosé and accidentally casts shocking grasp. Right. Okay.
on herself.
On the wine glass, and she's in the bath. It's Baldur's Gates rules here, boys.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Well, luckily it's her in the eyes. She doesn't know it.
doesn't know it. Yeah. Oh no, she can't do that because it's a creature you can see. Never mind.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. So switching over. So there is not a infinite window of time. There's like 5-10 minutes. As the party, I presume, are slowly or at a leisurely pace, rather, making their way to all come together, like that Beatles song. And Lorelei and Lafi. We resume from where I left off. So Lafi, you open your eyes. And time had frozen around you, and then it very, very quickly comes in. like back into focus, but before everything resumes at like normal speed, Lorelei disappears for like a split second. It's even fast for you. Like there's this moment where she isn't there. You can just see this like gap in the rain where she was, and then before you really have time to register it, she's back, and then time resumes, and she's hauling ass towards the. Well, I don't know if she's hauling ass. Over to you guys. Tell me what you're doing.
I don't know why I pictured her. I don't know if you actually said it. Or I just made it up in my head. I feel like you said she came back and was like fallen over. I don't know if you said that. Or I made that up.
I don't think I would have put you on the floor. Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
I think we made a joke about you going really quickly and then tripping over your own feet.
Yeah, the only reason I may have said that is because that happened to me yesterday, and I'm still paying for it.
Yeah, I think it was also. I think last week the joke was you rolled a nat 1 on the dexterity save when we went into Olivia's house.
Yeah.
So it was the idea of you doing the same thing on the way out.
Yeah.
That
it's what stops her from getting there.
There is one important thing that I forgot to mention, by the way, for Lafi. As you come back, similar to when you came back from the pool, your hit points and spell slots are back to full as if you'd one rested.
Woohoo! Yeah, that's convenient.
And also, Pete,
James, what about all of my spell slots?
Yeah, all your Pete, as you walk through the door, which would conveniently be around the same time that Lafi is left, you like step outside and you are bathed in what feels like bright sunlight that's breaking through the clouds. You regain half, so up to half of your hit point total maximum. So say for example you had 60 hit points. I know you don't, you have a different number, but you regain 30 from whatever number you're on, and like a proficiency amount of spell slots back. I don't know what that, I think that's 3 at the minute or 4.
Right, yeah.
If you've used them. If you haven't, you just get the help back.
What?
At no cost. You haven't. No, just you.
Oh yeah.
Because you're the only one that's been hurt.
I currently have a broken nose. And
that's not true, James. I took 3 damage failing to help Aeon.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, you get those 3 hit points back. Yeah.
Yay. There's actually 4.
I get
oh no, you only get 3.
Hell yeah, baby.
So
that's actually insane. Getting 32 hit points back. That's.
See, I wasn't far off with 60 then, was I?
I have 64 hit points.
Yeah, you get them back. Like as you step outside, I say this warm glow. Same for Laura, it's different. We'll come up to it's different in a moment. For Aeon, you step outside and it's like you're walking, and it's a combination of warm sunshine and cold rain. Actually, I love summer rain. It's often great. It's not at the minute. It's shit. Nice. But it can be nice, and it's very refreshing, and like it washes away like the blood around your nose, and it's completely healed.
Oh, your nose is fixed.
Hey, it's not your turn, bitch.
Yes.
That's great.
So we. Lafi wakes up. I think Lorelei, especially after seeing that, would start to like run towards Lafi. She was like walking relatively like quickly beforehand.
This is gonna be so
but
bad.
after that, she would like walk like not like whatever is between a jog and a sprint.
Okay, yeah, no. Lafi will like
frog.
get up from sitting on the like cold, wet floor in between these stones and just start sprinting towards Lorelei. Like not even slowing down when she gets close. She would just like haul ass.
Jump in the air and Superman punch her.
Yeah. No, probably like fully collide with her and like end up in a fucking heap on the floor. And she'd be like crying, but like smiling, so she'd probably look a little bit insane. And she'd just be like, "You're not a mayfly, and you're not one note, you're like the whole symphony, and I love you, and I'm sorry that I just ran off."
What? Huh? So,
Don't worry about it.
No. I think she goes to try and think of something and decides against it and just put, like, probably, again, you said, like, on the floor, like, probably crash on the stone, ow. Probably just pulls her in for a hug and kisses her, and in her head she says, "I love you too, I'm confused, it's fine, you're a person, but just be careful. What's happening?
I got a lot of information.
Sorry.
Also, Rhea said something about you might get something from her.
I
at some point.
think I did.
Fast.
Well, it could be something different. I was running, and then I was for like a second. I can't remember, like a second or like 10 minutes. I don't know. I saw her. I think her. Yeah, Rhea. I takes a breath. I saw her, and she asked me a few questions, and then said that she was happy with them and that she might hold me to them, but not hold. I don't know. And
What would I say?
it was strange, but I feel slightly not different. I feel more connected, useful in this cause. Are you okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What happened?
She'd like sit up, like sit back down on the ground and like probably like rub her eyes and be like, a lot. She told me a lot of things. The things that are like at the forefront of my mind, when I came back, maybe I should say this to everybody, but apparently I was supposed to remember, and the fact that I forgot everything was really strange, and she thinks that maybe somebody interfered with it. But she said that everyone's rooting for me and that I have to trust my judgment and that I'm stronger than I think I am, and big sister stuff.
I've been saying that you're stronger than you think you are for a while, but
I know, but that was a lot with Olivia.
Mm-hmm.
And I went because I was mad, and then she gave me a hug, and I just couldn't really be mad. Yeah, just a lot of stuff that we should probably talk about with everyone. But yeah, it was nicer than I thought it was going to be.
Well,
I think I built it up in my head.
Over a week. Well.
Hey, when time stops, it lasts forever.
I'm happy you're alright. I was scared something was gonna happen. But you're okay.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's really what I care about.
There was a lot of she likes to be a bit cryptic, I think, sometimes.
My questions were very straightforward.
Oh, well, that's good.
She just asked if I was a bitch or not. That's really weird.
I think she said basic bitch, and I think you answered yes.
No, she said about the reason that I said that you weren't a mayfly. It doesn't make sense, really. But one of my sisters, was it Miranda that said it, or was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Aeon's...
both of them basically. The two of them they could maybe be described as goldfish.
Yeah. Well, Aeon and Miranda, they think that getting close to people here is pointless because, in the grand scheme of things, I don't need to go into the details. It's kind of miserable. But it's... I just wanted to say that it doesn't matter how much time we have. I'm just happy to have it. So you're not a mayfly. And I know that sounds insane, but just know that it's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Also, there might be a way that everyone can meet my sisters. Rhea said that there's a place that I can take you all and you'd be able to, like, see them. And I don't know if that's something that everybody wants to do, but it's something that I'd like to do. Maybe? She'd, like, be giddy at this, like, if you guys wanted to.
I think we'd have to ask everyone. I think that'd be very confusing.
She said it wouldn't hurt anyone. Oh.
Well, no, I just meant confusing as in people.
Yeah, we look a lot alike.
Yeah, I could tell it wasn't who I was talking. I mean, I know it wasn't who I was talking to. It was strange, and it was also I didn't get a chance to really say anything, but it was weird because I've seen Rhea a number of times in my dreams, so it was weird to see her properly.
Yeah.
It was weird. It was like almost like seeing somebody you haven't seen in a while, but I know she didn't really know who I was. It was strange. Maybe she did. I'm just happy you're alright. I was really scared.
I wouldn't have gone back without saying anything. I just, in the moment, I was mad and I just needed to go before somebody changed my mind. And I think I was more scared than mad. I don't know. But oh look, it's the others.
You see, Riptide is waving, making, because before, a few minutes ago, actually, not even that long ago, maybe half an hour in game terms, before you got to Olivia, there was a moment where Lafi was upset, concerned, and she didn't know how to basically check she was okay, and so she went to Wolf and she gave her like the double thumbs up and then kind of like wiggled them between halfway and thumbs up. You know what I mean? Like, how is she? Is she doing the same thing now? And then she realised she can talk to you without having to yell. She's like, "You all right?"
I think Lorelei would yell back, just say, "We're fine." I think. I'm
okay,
fine.
that's cool.
Would stand up and help Lafi out.
Okay, that's great to hear, guys. Okay.
I know a cupcake place here nearby. Do you want it or?
Yeah, in a bit of a day, I could actually murder a cupcake. What do we reckon?
Hey! I think if anyone's picking a place to eat sweet food, I'm picking them. I know every.
I do hear your wisdom. Yeah.
To be fair, on the walk, me and Lou were talking brownies as well. Brownies could be a good shout.
Ooh.
Yeah, I have this special sprinkling that might be really enjoyable.
I told you that this is a bad idea.
Actually, think about it, Lorelei. There is a new bakery around the corner that is run by a young gnomish couple, like kind of hipster gnomes, who have tried to infuse little bits of magic with their bakery. Apparently, it tastes great, but like sometimes has weird like magical effects.
Lorelei would very nervously say that to the group. I think it's that way. I think.
Oh, we're going that way. Let's go.
Yeah, why not?
Come up.
I think Lafi would be glued to Lorelei as well. Like, probably just like, you know, when stage 5 clinger, you know, when someone's like not holding your hand, like holding your arm.
Yeah.
She'd be
like hugging the entire arm.
Yeah.
It's like those couples memes where it's like comic strips of the girlfriend who is literally just holding on for dear life as the the other one is just
Yeah.
walking.
Wait, but
So-
what is the height difference? Because depending on that, Lafi might be like trotting
It's actually
along.
quite a
while
foot. It's
Lorelai
about a
is-
foot in it.
Yeah, it's nearly a foot.
Well, no, Lorelai's 5'7", so it's like.
Yeah, and
Oh,
Laffy's
it's
5
7
foot.
inches. Yeah.
Which is nearly a
Yeah.
foot.
Well, it's not. I mean, there's 4 inches in that. Like that'd be a lot.
That's the size
Yeah.
of my cat. Like as he like sits on his little pose.
What?
That's
4
quite a-
inches? That's a tiny kid.
Oh, she's 7, isn't it? 7 inches.
No, I know. No, it's fine. Yeah.
But yeah. So if you go into this magical shop, I suppose I need to come up with a name for it. It is called.
You were the one who mentioned it. I was going to
Yeah,
mention
no,
the guy.
Call it
I only
Muffin
had
Top.
the cupcake. Yeah, sorry, it's called Muffin Top. And as you go in, there's a couple of what they call the gnomes from the Underdark, the purple sea
The
gnomes.
deep gnomes.
Deep nose?
Deep gnomes. There's a couple a deep gnome couple there.
Deep
Uh,
gnomes.
Deep gnome. They're both bald. They both have the weird sticky out gnome ears that are like longer. Like their ears point out past their shoulder, so walking through doorways must be a challenge. And
Have
the
to walk
guy
through
has got
sideways.
the guy has got a really I'll say wanky hipster mustache, and the woman has got like loads and loads of like mismatched don't mean anything tattoos, like oh, this one represents the beetle because of Frank Kafka's Metamorphosis, and this one is because I like ducks, kind of thing. And so they're there, and they come over and they welcome you into their muffin top abode.
No.
What? I didn't name it.
I know. I can still say
Yeah, and they go, welcome to this is our second day of opening. Well, come in, sit down. We don't have menus as such. We ask you to pick a number between 1 and 100, and then we will surprise you with the most delectable muffin of all time that you've ever consumed for the low price of 2 silver.
Can I also get one to go?
No.
Is it only one per customer?
And you have to eat it on our premises because the magic is limited. If you go outside, we can't be held responsible for how the magic would interact in the world.
Do you also have normal food that's not magical that I can't take to go?
They look you up and down. If you wanted normal food, then you can go to any one of the normal bakeries outside. This is a culinary experience, and quite
I'm turning
delicious.
to the others. I will be back in 5 minutes.
Nope, Blue, you're saying it.
No, have the magic cupcake.
Blue runs
Luke.
off to the ancient red
Luke.
dragon fight.
Blue, don't make me use and fail my blood curse of binding on you. I will keep you here. We're all eating, we're having a cupcake.
Yeah. We
We
do
have
have
conversations to
mundane teas. We have coffees. We have tea. We have herbal tea. We have hot water with leaves in it. And some people say that is tea, but it's a different kind of thing altogether. We have soft drinks. We have cold drinks. We have fizzy drinks. We have pop. We have cordial. We have ice creams. We have little biscuits, which aren't magical. If you would like some non-magical food, I suppose we could do you like a Tunnux or a Mars bar, something like that. Sponsored.
Not sponsored.
and
I was saying, James, not sponsored. No.
Yes, definitely sponsored. Give us our money, Mars. That was £1,000. Will you better buy one Mars bar? And
Get this man a Mars bar.
And a can of
Yes, why
Fanta.
not?
I'm wearing my Fanta top, even though no one
Yeah,
can see me.
And so yes, and we have. The only problem is with our. Well, I say problem. The thing with our coffees is we don't have milk from the lactating bovines. No, we get our milk from other sources. We have pea milk. We have macadamia milk. We have peanut milk. We have milk from corn. Basically anything like yeah. And in the
Laffy's
background,
gonna shudder when they say corn because she remembers
Corn
the
milk,
rainbow
yeah.
corn.
And so they go through a long list of very unappetizing sounding milks, and then at the end they get to it. And yes, we also have. I will say we it's a small fib. We do have bovine milk, which is cow. Any kind of
I
milk,
might
really.
not just take. Never mind. I don't
I
want to
think
get
I'll
into
just
this
have
discussion.
maybe a fizzy drink
Yeah.
instead.
Okay.
I don't like
I'll
the
have
different
one.
milks.
No, that's fine.
Can I just get a nice relaxing herbal tea?
Yes, of course. Yes. Sit
Can
down,
I
sit down.
have a hot chocolate and I will buy a round of cupcakes for everyone.
Okay. Well, if you'd like to roll one, so there's Riptide. I think there's 5 of us, right?
There is 5.
Yeah.
So can everyone roll the D100?
Oh, it is okay. It's not her. Yeah. How much
Rusty is
were
not here,
all
right?
those, sorry?
Oh, can I get a non-magical cupcake for Rusty? Because he'll be devastated if he finds out.
Hey,
we
they
got
told me to
cupcakes
fuck
without
off
him.
when I asked about that. So you know.
Well, I don't want to get him a magical one that like fucks him up because he's not
On the way, we'll just go and.
They
grab one.
literally
you
told
can
me
just
to
get
fuck
him
off to
like a
another
Mars
store
bar
if I
or
wanted
something,
no
yeah.
magical
Do you? I'll say I'll just put like 2 gold in for like drinks and.
Oh no,
like,
that's more than far too
No,
much. It's like
no,
5
no,
silver.
I know. We have, but I'll do a round of drinks and stuff for everyone and
Okay.
a round of cupcakes. We're gonna do 2 silver each. So
I don't think you guys are like short on cash. If you get short on cash, like
No.
I'm not.
I
I'm
don't think
just.
you are.
I'm always
I think
short
I've given you
Uh,
a little. So let me go through. So this guy potters off and comes back with some herbal teas. Riptide has asked for like what do they call it? A Bundaberg, which is like an Australian ginger beer. They're really good. So she's got this Australian ginger beer. And she's like, yeah, fucking crack it. Yeah, crack it, Jack. Pete, they come back and they goes, now, my wife and I discussed that we looked at you in your fine shift of form, and we've decided that the drink that will pique your interest and tingle your taste buds the most is this. It is a licorice and lime tea. Now, before you judge, no. It's a flavour experience, and I say licorice and lime because I have some licorice and lime tea bags downstairs, which are frankly delicious.
And pretty nice, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, and so because it will, if you have a digestive, not complications, but
issues.
Issues is a very strong word. If you get rather gassy, this will assist with the release. Perhaps you'll find yourself rather than coming out the rear, they will bubble up and come out the front. But it's very nice. It's very nice. For you wanted a fizzy drink, and I say for a young tall girl like yourself, I think this will do. And they put in front of you this like half pint of. It looks slightly off clear, it's not completely clear, and it's got bubbles running through it. It's like a very, very, very faint green tinge to it. And you smell it, and it smells flowery. No, it's basically it's like an elderflowery, but with like a fizzy elderflower with like a hint of raspberry in it. And it's sharp. It's not sweet.
So much.
Yeah, I've got some elderflower downstairs, so I'm thinking about it.
Are you just giving us drinks that you have in your?
No, I'm looking at drinks now. For Lorelei, I don't know. Remember, you asked for hot chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they bring you a cup of milk, and you kind of look at it and like, my dude, I gave you one simple instruction, and then like out of nowhere, they pull out this like ball, this like orb of chocolate, and they pop it in, and then they hand you a spoon, allows you to stir it in yourself, and then they put down like another little bar, and this very, very small. For you, it would be like a lemon zester, but it's like scratch more chocolate on the top if you want.
Oh,
but it's like a real experience.
I actually have on the other side of my room. I have like a salted caramel, a hot chocolate bomb that I haven't had yet, and
Well, the problem is, right, the chairs are just a little bit uncomfy, and the table is just not quite big enough for all this stuff. And so you're like, if you've ever been to a hipster cafe, you think, oh, this is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
And it kind of is, but it kind of isn't.
It's like 90% there.
Yeah, it's almost there. It's just not quite.
The vibe's great, but it's slightly annoying.
But and the music's terrible, right? It's just like this like 90s shoegaze crap, like clearly like their daughter's band or something. It's awful. And so who else? We've had Aeon, Lou. They you didn't ask for anything, but they bring you a glass of water and a biscuit. So what has everyone rolled? Let's have a look. Okay, so we've got let's go from the bottom up. Beth, you rolled a 4. So they bring out. Oh, I misread that then. Jesus Christ.
I thought
it said sneaky spiders. I was like, Jesus, you won't want to eat that. They bring out these 3 like this small but long plate. So imagine something about 5 inches along and about 1.5 inches wide, like a small tray, and there's these tiny cupcakes on them, and they're really intricate, like fairy cakes the size of like your little fingernail. But altogether it's like one reasonably sized bit of food, and each one's a different shade, going from like white down to, so it's white and then black, white one and black at the other, and in between isn't like a grey, it's like this vibrant mix of it's like a marble effect. And then he puts these in front of you. For you, these are the sneaky sliders. For Lorelei, he rolled a 60. Oh, it doesn't go up to 100. Okay, that's annoying. Okay, you
someone
get...
to reroll?
No. What the fuck?
Oh god.
Okay, so this will last for, I will say, will everyone roll 1d4. Actually, no, I will say this. These effects, right, can be used at any point in the next 6 game days.
Oh god.
Okay, between now and in 6 days' time, these effects can be used. But I will tell you what the effects are in a moment. Okay. So for you, Lorelei,
Why don't you just make it a week?
Okay, fine, yeah, a week, whatever.
Mhm.
Doesn't really matter. I just want you to use them. I can't
about
see
a
Dave. I don't see you getting into combat today. Again, I say that you might well do. He puts down. He puts down
Maybe we'll
this in
meet the
front of
big
you.
guy again.
Yeah, he puts down what looks like it's basically like a fried fritter, but on top of it are these like angelic wings and halos, but like not like a woman with wings. It's like a proper like traditional biblical angel, you know, like the weird eye spheres. But like they're not horrific looking. It's beautifully decorated and very, there's and like the sugar forms the eyes on the angels, and it's slightly caramelized, and it's got this unbelievably appley smell, and the pastry looks really crisp, and it looks warm but not hot. And next to it is this little like scoop of
I'm picturing like a weird in between like a what's it called, a apple pie.
Strudel. It's like a strudel and a McDonald's apple. Yeah. It's the shape
I'm
of
picturing
McDonald's
like a weird churro. But...
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I can think because we're also sponsored by Churro and McDonald's.
Churro isn't a brand.
I know. But yeah, and next to it, it's got some salted caramel ice cream
all over Mexico.
Yeah, it's a little scoop of salted. It's not even a scoop; it's like a bowl of ice cream that's slowly melting for you to dip this like quite hot apple tart in, and it's called the Angelic Artisan Altering Apple Tart Pocket.
I'm not
which is a hell of a word. In fact, I will tell you what they do now because I will not remember these. So, as you pick it up to bite into it, Lorelei, the pastry is super flaky and nice, and the apple filling, it tastes of like of all types of apples, from the really, really sharp to the really, really sweet. It goes across your whole tongue and like gives you a proper full body flavour experience. Oh, it's a really crap effect though. At one point in the next week, you can use the spell Protection from Good and Evil.
That's not awful.
Not terrible, but that's not what it says.
Considering...
the effect is crap.
Okay. Well, considering I don't have any concentration, that's not too bad.
Yeah. Lafi, as you eat your little sliders, the sneaky sliders, they're topped with this quite sharp raspberry vinaigrette that cuts through the sweetness really, really well. And as you eat them, you realise as you eat them from left to right, from the white down to the black, and with the marble in the middle, that you can add a 1 or a 2 or a 3 to any stealth rolls you make in the next 7 days. So, like, if you make 3 stealth rolls, you can add 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 2 to another.
Well, my one was shit.
Yeah, I know, but like this is just like a 1 or 2, and the protection good and evil is not concentration. Yeah, because this is a.
Could you add all of it? Could you that stealth one? Could you add all of them into one?
It doesn't stack.
Roll.
If you could use them all, but it would max out at +3. So don't. Who we got? We've got Peter Aeon.
Not Aeon.
Peter.
He puts down in front of you. It looks like a cheese. It looks like a custard-filled Danish. But as you pick it up, the smell is savoury. And he goes, "Yes, this is the Dancer's Danish." And basically very similar to Lafi's, except this is like a cheesy Danish pastry. So it's like almost like fondant in the middle with pastry around it. And the cheese is like relatively strong. Like it's not like a blue cheese. It's a nice cheese.
Like a mature cheddar.
Like a mature cheddar, yeah. And basically, very similar to what happened before, you can add a 1, a 2, and a 3 to any performance rolls in the next week.
Oh, I am going to rock it at the ball.
He's gonna go crazy.
Yeah.
What did... Who else
Dice of
rolled
dramatic
on?
entrance.
Yeah. Yeah. Walk up in the club like, what up? Okay, 45. 45. Oh, okay, this is a weird one.
Right.
Okay, so this is for Peru. This is a really weird one. This list, I really should have vetted this before I rolled it. Okay, so
Yeah, maybe.
Oh no, there's got to be a better one than that.
I was scared you were gonna give like it was like a sorcery, wild magic list. And I was like, oh fuck.
No.
Imagine eating cooking and turn into a blood.
Yep,
Okay, here we go.
you'll be used for the next
Okay.
cookie.
So they put out in front of you. They bring out this plate and they place it in front of you, and it's 3 like large gummy sweets. So when I say gummy sweets, I mean like Haribo gummies. You know what I mean by that, like a gelatinous sweet. And there's 3 of them, and they look like a dolphin dancing in the water. And Riptide looks over and goes, "You know, they don't fucking do that." Yeah, he looks at it and goes, "These are the Swedish sharks from our big summer blowout."
Who's gonna kill you?
Yeah, big summer blowout. And they will grant you for the next week a swimming speed equal to your walking speed
Does that
for
mean
the entire week.
Bonus action dash in the water?
Yep.
Yeah.
And it means you can fight in water as well, which is sometimes difficult.
Well, fight easier in water.
You fight easier in water, yeah. But you have a swim speed and can breathe underwater completely. That won't matter to you too much. But you can like live underwater for a week, and Riptide's like, I'll do that shit anyway.
I don't need to breathe anymore, so
That's a good
doesn't
point.
really make a difference.
And in
I do
front-
have a question.
Yeah.
Does this taste like anything to me, or is it just ash like the?
Oh,
breakfast?
for you, and you put it in. Imagine if you were eating pure gelatin, like just like
Oh.
chewy. Like imagine you were trying to
Without-
chew through
without-
glue.
Oh, Lou has
Oh,
this
that's so
really
sad.
sour look on her face as she eats this.
Oh.
Yeah, because for everyone else, it's amazing. And like as you're eating, like, as like Lou's picking them up, everything has it's like, oh, I imagine you kind of like, oh guys, look what I've got, look what I've got. And like these ones smell of the ocean, like sweet and salty, and like they smell
brine and
like
seaweed.
well, but no, like seaweed's actually
the
quite
good
sweet.
time.
And
Yeah.
like, and it's and there's like an element of salt. Like, it smells like the fresh sea air. And like Riptide's like, oh, I wonder if Azalea would like that. Yeah. So, but she doesn't taste of anything, which is a shame. And then in front of oh yeah, this is a good one. And in front of Riptide, he puts down this. It looks like a chocolate like bonbon, but it's quite big. It's like the size of like a snooker ball. And he puts
Oh my
it in front
God.
of it. Yeah, it's huge. It's this thing, and it looks like it's covered in like fudge or something. And he puts it down in front of us, and this is our sticky. I can't remember. This is our sticky bonbon. I hope you enjoy it. And she tries to pick it up, and she's eating it. She's like, oh yeah, this is great. It tastes like it's got like chocolate in it. It's got like peanut butter. It's got like and it's really good, like almost like honey
Reese's
in it.
Bowl.
Yeah, but like she finished it, and she's trying to like clean her hands. She's looking for words to clean her hands, and whatever she can't seem to get like happy with it. And the guy's like, "Oh no, madame, don't worry. The sticky bonbons give you a climbing like a spider climbing speed for the next week." And she's like, "Oh, great, but I'm fucking covered in it." And like, yeah, she's like, "I'm just gonna go wash my hands." Or she's like, she comes back and she's like, I don't know if I like this. This is pretty bad, but yeah, I might just wear gloves. Okay. So yeah, you sit there and you kind of discuss the various flavors, and have a relatively, for most of you, stress-free window of half an hour or so as you shoot the shit and smell each other's foods and go, "Oh, that looks nice. I should have had one of those." For various people, and for Rusty, he goes, "Well, I know I said we don't allow people
Oh,
to."
it's Rusty. Yeah.
No. The
Oh,
guy
he was-
comes back and goes, "No, I know I said that we couldn't give food away to those who aren't in the shop, but I've spoken to the missus, and she has said that in this very, very specific circumstances, because you've been so generous with your monies, that we would allow you to take. So there's one for Azalea, one for Kudo, one for Rusty. So 3 other cakes. So if one of you would like to roll 3 d50s, let's just see what the people
I'm doing Rusty's.
Okay. I thought you rolled a 4 again.
D50s?
A d50 because the table doesn't go up to 123.
I don't know how to. What is the command?
So
This is rubbish, but it's really funny.
Rusty's 23. I'll say
23.
Azalea's the 8, and then whatever the last one is.
So Rusty, he brings out what look. Do you know? Have you seen that meme, although it's like a thing you can buy on Instagram, and it's like buck teeth for dogs.
Oh God.
God.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
There is a 7
You know what I mean?
for Kuda.
Yeah,
so-
I know exactly what you mean.
You know, so he brings out these like sweet, they look like fake teeth, and they're called sweet tooths, and they're sweet and savoury cupcakes.
Oh, Russ,
that
can
make
you just do that in Rusty's voice, please?
Sweet tooth.
Sweet tooth. They are sweet and savoury, but they make the eater's front teeth grow one. Hear this, 1d4 inches longer. Than
Oh my
usual.
God! So he's
But
either
only
he's
like
like a
6 out.
saber tooth, but with his tooth, I think Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
Saber-tooth
Bugs Bunny.
kobold.
Yeah.
What's up, Doc?
But they
What's
sound,
up, Doc?
They sound like just really good. Yeah. What's up, Doc? Yes. So
What's up, Doc?
Who's the 8 for?
An
Sorry?
8 for Azalea.
Azalea. I hate that one. Oh, okay. This is actually perfect. So he pulls over a bag, and you open it to peer into it. It seems pretty flat. You open up and you see a cookie, and in the cookie, kind of like with made out of like. She's got quite a sweet tooth, Azalea. It's got like Smarties in it, you know, like coloured or like chocolate drops.
Smarties are a superior
Smarties. In there's like a question mark written in the cookie, and he goes, "This
It's
is
the
a
Riddler.
this is a mysterious cookie," and he winks at you.
Oh.
Yeah, do you want to know what it
Can
does?
I do a perception check to see
Yeah?
if there's meat in
No.
it or something like that?
Well, it's impossible to tell because when you eat this cookie, at any point in the next week, you can roll once on the wild magic chart.
Oh God.
Oh!
So I wasn't too far off.
No, that's a weird coinky dink. And 7. Who's this one for? So this is for Kudo, right?
Kuda.
You know.
One moment. I'm my mal. Where are we? Oh, okay, this is cool for him. He gets a blurbery. So he comes up. The wife comes up and she's like chewing like the fantasy equivalent of chewing gum, and she dumps it on the table, and you open the bag and it's this muffin that's got like these really vivid kind of purple fruit in there. She goes, "That is a blurberry muffin. You eat that, and you get at any point in the week the ability to cast blur on yourself." How
Oh,
about
that's
that?
actually really good.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm sorry,
a
you really did get the
blurberry
shitty
muffin.
end. Yeah, you got the shitty end of the stick here, I'm afraid, Lorelei. But hey, that's the way the proverbial crumbles, isn't it? And she swaggers back onto the basket.
I would have rather the cookie crumble. That's fine.
But yeah,
I like the
life. There's one that I'm really good on called Conjured Croissant, which I think sounds amazing. But yeah, so they you sit there, you have a lovely few minutes. Is there anything you discuss whilst you are sat in the anything you talk about?
Yeah, probably discuss, the fact that
We don't know.
the fact
Well,
that
What I will do then is I will hand over to you guys whilst I relocate myself back downstairs. It will take me a couple of minutes, and it will take me 2 trips. So I will hand over to you
Guys,
fully.
let's talk to Riptide during this next.
Riptide is washing her hands.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah, she's washing her hands. She yells like, guys, don't say anything too interesting whilst I'm gone. Just catch up on the conversation, Lafi head perhaps, because I got a good feeling that I probably will understand what she's talking about without knowing too many.
I've actually got a head like poking, what's trying to watch out.
Yeah, yelling out, and she comes out and she's like, they don't have any fucking tissues or a hand dryer. I've got to dry my hands on my trousers like a fucking animal. But
that's
yeah,
hipsters for you.
I'll hand over. I will go into mute. If I drop off audio, don't worry. I'll be back in a moment.
All right.
Yeah.
What are you gonna say, Beth?
So, I went to the circle, and I spoke to Rhea.
Your sister Ria?
Yeah. And I thought I was going to be really mad, but I wasn't. And she said a lot of things, and I probably should have written them down. But I didn't because I was
Should have taken
emotional.
notes.
But I basically asked about Arasi and if it was my fault. And she assured me that it wasn't. And I know you guys already said that. But I think I just needed to hear it from somebody who would be brutally honest. Because I trust you guys and everything you tell me, but I know that you also want to protect me, and that might extend over to my feelings, if that makes sense.
Well, they want to protect you as well. I mean, I would hope.
Yeah, but they've got no reason to not be brutally honest. Trust me. She also.
You have a sister, Lou. You know what it's like. Your sister always like.
I don't know about Leia.
Look, my situation with my sister is very complicated. We don't need to get into it now. I know you all hate her. Let's not talk about her now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of specific things. I mentioned some of the stuff that just kind of weirded me out was when I spoke to her about not remembering things. She said that sometimes I can't remember who she said it was. One of my sisters mentioned that it's sort of like a goldfish, and every time that they go around the bowl and see the castle, it's like a welcome surprise. But Rhea disagreed with that, and she said that she thinks that I should have remembered at least who I was. And the only thing I had was my name, and that's because Chiken told me my name. And she thinks that somebody may have interfered with my arrival, but she doesn't know why somebody would do that. Because I'm not a threat. My job is to help. So she said she was going to keep an eye out for stuff like that. But then when I mentioned Chiken, it was kind of strange because she said that the name didn't seem familiar and she felt as though it was jumbled. Or I think she said like lost in translation or something.
Like, how do you mean? Like, for example, let's say Bjorn in Giant means bear, but we don't have, like, if someone says their name was Bjorn, you wouldn't automatically think bear, something like that?
Maybe. I'm not sure. It was like she instinctively knew something about Chiken, but when I said the name, she said that it felt wrong. And I don't know if I told you guys that when I spoke to Chiken on the boat, he mentioned that he had known me before, but that we weren't friends.
Sorry, I'm late.
Oh, alright.
Can I just ask a question? How do you spell Chiken? I want to make sure I'm getting it right.
Chee.
Well, I want to hear it from the DM because I don't know.
Oh, sorry.
I'm sure however you're spelling it's fine.
James, how do I spell Chiken?
1 minute.
How do
Can you
you
roll me,
spell
please?
Chiken?
A history check with advantage.
Me? Can you just fucking tell me?
No.
He's making you work for it, Jesus.
You get advantage, and you've got thingy. What's it called? Brain?
Take it on that.
No. Is it just advantage?
Yeah, but I'm rolling with advantage.
Yeah, so you have double advantage.
7.
Roll
Nope.
again.
James. Okay. I'm
Yes, Bob.
I might see. I'm asking James the DM as Asher the player. How the fuck do I spell the name of Chiken?
6786.
I
Please.
have spelled it phonetically. CHEE-K
K-E-N.
K-E-N, but
Okay.
that is not how it is spelled.
Oh, okay. Because I've spelt it in 2 different ways. Can I use a hero point?
For what?
That check.
I've just told you that's how I spell it, but that is not how it is spelled.
Is Chiken around?
If you want him to be.
Can I just be like, Psst, hey, buddy?
Hey, do you know English? Can you spell your name for us?
Hello? Did you get me a cupcake?
Would you like a cupcake?
No, I am a butterfly.
Okay.
Yes, I saw you got everybody else on, and I thought it was a bit weird.
Do you want like a
Just
flower?
out of curiosity, because I'm not sure if this has been said or not. Can only Lafi see and talk to Chiken?
You can see like a little outline of Chiken,
Yeah,
I think.
so what Lafi sees is a cabbage butterfly. So if you
big
are
one.
bothered about like a big cabbage butterfly, they are white and they have like little black dots on there. They're probably they're probably the most common type of butterfly you would see that don't have like really distinctive feathers, not feathers, wings. You would see like a slightly normaler version of that, but it's just constantly about. Like we very rarely talk to it because it doesn't engage. It's almost
And it hurts
like
your throat.
it hurts my throat. It's annoying. Asha hates it, and
I would just love to mention from day one, I don't trust this butterfly. If it turns out this butterfly is a bitch, I'm gonna feel just.
never
feel
show up about
validated.
it. Yeah,
I'm never gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna make sure you remember it, James.
yeah. I'm just gonna like change all my names to Chicken was always a dick every time I join. But no, it's so yeah, it's always floating around. Now there's a couple of key moments I think that you would have missed with Chicken. Obviously there was like I don't know if you've listened to the back catalogue. There's a lot of it there. I'm not expecting you to. There was when Lafi first met him, and then there was he kind of like I don't want to use the word consume because that's evocative. He needed a wee little boosty, so he basically ate a shard from the elemental plane of cold, and then I don't know if you were there for this. I think you may well have been. It was around the Green Press time. No. There was a time
this was with me.
Yeah,
No, it was just before.
Told Lorelei while she was Wolf to keep Lafi away from Kilpatrick. Didn't give any specifics of why, but just said that he'd gone to Lorelei because he didn't want Lafi to. He didn't want to tell Lafi himself because he didn't think she'd listen, and because there were kids involved, he wanted Lorelei to do it. God, too many old names. And then most recently, Lorelei. Oh, fuck me running. Lafi spoke to him on the boat.
Yes.
I think that's really the scope of the relationship. It's not like he's like this big.
No, but he was the first entity that Lafi met when she came back and had no memory.
Yeah.
Entities.
She's just gonna say, Chiken, if I was gonna write you like a birthday card, how would I spell your name?
But don't worry, I do not have a day of birth.
Okay, so just for my notes, how do I spell your name?
It does not have letters in your alphabet. So any way to write it, if it sounds right, is okay with me.
Okay, maybe I should ask just more directly. Is your name actually Chiken?
What is in a name? It is what you call me and what I respond to. It is a accurate description of me, I suppose.
It's just, I spoke to my sister before, and she said that it seemed like it was jumbled or something.
It's a description.
Yeah, can I insight? Can I insight the butterfly?
Yeah, you can insight
the butterfly.
I do an insight check on the butterfly.
That's the most D&D sentence.
21.
Nice.
21. So
21.
I think again, insight is not a lie detector test. So I'll tell you the vibe you get.
He also doesn't have a face.
By the way, sorry, I'm writing something else. Does Chicken have a gender, and if so, what is it?
Hey.
Gender has referred to himself in the male with the male.
Okay, cool. I was just writing something. I was like, am I just making that up? Okay, cool. Kick it back.
Yeah. So if Chikan were to have a gender, it would be male.
Okay, cool.
Or would be male presented. And you can tell the gender of butterflies. Apparently, I don't know.
I think it's something to do with their spots. I could be making that up though. That might be ladybugs.
I think it's ladybugs. I don't know.
Okay. Cool. We could Google it. We're not going.
I'm not gonna, yeah.
I'm gonna stay ignorant.
So, so as he says, it is a description. He pronounces it again, chicken, and as he pronounces it, it definitely is not the anglicized or common speak of CHEE. It is a phrase or word in a I will say it, a non-English language.
Well, good thing I know Dutch.
Well, good thing I'm ignorant.
When he says it doesn't, he's being fully...
Comprehend languages! I have comprehend languages.
Is that word was spoken, or is that just...
Comprehend languages, you understand the
I think
literal
that's only
meaning of
spoken.
anything.
I don't know if
No, you
Yeah.
understand the literal
You understand
meaning.
the literal meaning of any spoken language that you hear. You also understand any written language that you see, but you must
The
be touching.
difference between that and tongues is that tongues you can speak back. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that going to do anything if I cast comprehend languages, or is it a waste of a spell slot?
I will say
If
this.
we're not getting into a fight today,
If you are...
And you did just get all your stuff back.
Hang on.
So, you saying the word... You saying the word that you think is his name is the literal word. That is the name you have assigned to it. There is no translation. Unless you were to get someone to say the actual word, it wouldn't work.
Well, if
You
he's saying
can
it.
comprehend language on the words you've written down.
No, because it says for the duration you understand the literal meaning of any spoken language that you hear.
Yeah.
So if he says it, do I
Yeah, if he
interpret
says
it
it,
as
sure.
something else?
Are you casting it?
Yeah.
Okay. So what are the components of comprehend language?
I think it's just verbal and somatic.
Verbal, somatic,
and a pinch of salt.
material. Yeah, so a pinch of salt. But I'm in a cafe, so.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I mean,
Also,
yeah,
you
one
have
second.
you have a spell focus anyway, so
yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah. 1 second.
it's not monetary component. So
Yeah. Or something super specific.
Where is it?
I hope it's like
No.
the great murderer, and I'm like, fuck you, and I shoot the both
Ah! No!
No, that was an actual
Turns
word.
out, chicken translates to the entirety of that one Italian song.
God.
Bear with me. I need to drop off audio to make sure I'm giving you the right information. I'll be back in 1 second because I can't hear it.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's just not gonna come back.
it's
Ian,
Robert.
Lafi,
I'm the DM now. I'm the DM now. What's happening?
Chicken just left. No.
He's just like, fuck you. He gets snaps.
I see.
Oh. While Chiken is loading.
Oh, he's on call.
he's
Oh, he's back.
He's back.
Sorry, I had to
Hello.
unplug my speakers to do it, which was a pain. Okay, so you cast comprehend language, and so what are you asking him?
So what would she say?
What does it mean?
No, I feel like you just say like.
So can you say it again slowly?
Okay. And see, so the literal translation, I will post it into so he says the name again, knowing what you see. He's very.
He probably knows
very-
I've cast a spell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he knows exactly. He says something that sounds to you all like just a random stream of words that roughly sounds like the words chicken, or the word chicken rather, in the kind of most simplified way of speaking it. He says this. He kind of looks very sheepish. He goes, "I do not wish for this to change things," and he says, "Shike." Which is simplified Chinese for the word deceive.
Deceive or cheat.
Yeah.
my thoughts immediately go to actual name the Deceiver or Deceiver, and it does not bode well.
Well, he did say it was a descriptor, and I still do believe it's a description rather than a name. But I feel very slightly more validated. Fuck you, Jim.
What's interesting is when you were saying, and you said that like when he says she, and you can hear that it's just like a language you don't understand. I was thinking Chinese, as in like chi, as in like the other word key and that.
So in anglicized phonetics, it's spelled Qipian. Quipa?
I'm not
Or
even
chique, like that. And it basically means to cheat or deceive. With your high insight, he knows answering this question might not bode well for him, but he's rolling the dice anyway, by being honest.
When the deceiver is honest, are they really the deceiver?
Okay, that's not
with your high
fair.
insight of a 21, I will say you can tell that I will keep referring to him as Shiken. Shiken knows.
I think that's easier than that.
It's easier than I'm not going to call him the deceiver or the cheater, but they know that by answering this question, they will be removing some foundations of trust from the house of cards they built.
Well, the next question isn't I'll just say it. She would ask, is that your chosen name, or is that a name given to you?
It is the name that I felt was most appropriate for what I needed to do. So it is a chosen name.
So, are you working for somebody? Have you been sent here to watch me by someone?
I came to see, and I came because I was invited.
Who invited you?
He again looks quite sheepish.
The butterfly looks sheepish.
Sheepish, yeah. It grows fur and goes bah.
This is bad news.
Looks you
She's gonna
in the eye
she's
with
gonna she's gonna say, I'm not angry, I just want to know the truth.
Just disappointed.
he
she
looks
just wants
you
to
in the
know.
eye with his little sproggly antenna. Yeah, and goes and says,
You did.
and we'll stop for a break right there.